you can't make a film about an autistic person. It's too broad of a spectrum. You're never going to relate to every autistic person. Going back to the to me entering the film industry, I've always wanted to be a film director. Always, ever since I was probably about seven, and I'm now 18. I'm really passionate about film and ready to take any steps necessary to do whatever to get into film. And I don't think my autism will hinder that at all, and I think it will, in fact, give me a better choice, because I feel like autistic people are always more openly excited about what they're passionate about, and I am, of course, very passionate about film. Always have been. I've also got support. My parents have got me a child trust fund, which I'm going to use to start up my career, which my lovely grandfather has just put money into. And I will never use that money for anything stupid. I will use it to forward my career in film, and I will. And no matter how bad things will get, I'm never going to give up at film. I'm very determined, and I think the main thing I would love to do is my parents and I, we've always loved to go see just anything that's on at the cinema. But I would love for it if my mum could come up to me and goes, why don't we all go see a new film made by you? Which would be brilliant. We could all go see it, and I'm sure we'd all love to go see it. And that would, of course, be a lovely thing to go and do. And that is obviously my dream, my dream job. It always has been. And I've now put so much into this. I knew I wanted to do this college course. I knew, without fail. And I was incredibly passionate to do so. And I'm doing an extra 2 years on this course after, which I've signed up to do, called a HND. Yeah, I don't think my autism at all hinders me from film. Does it help me? Yeah, it does in some strange ways. But I think it's more me that is going to help me so much with film, not any disability that I have.
So do you think you're kind of this inside mind, that you have this kind of inside world, is your superpower?
It's not a superpower by any means, I'll say that. It's definitely going to come in handy if I do go into the film industry, because I will just never run out of ideas. Because what's so funny is that even when I'm making short films for projects at college, I'm just thinking of ideas like that, just so quickly. I think it's going to be I think it'll be great for me. And
so, what do you think it's been like for your parents having the difficulties they've had as well with you having autism and your other health issues?
I've always said that there's been some difficulties with them, but that's not really with the autism. That's with some of the other stuff. But with autism, they were on their second child by that point, so they had experience, they had a resume, let's say. But my parents do always like to tell stories about how the interesting experience they've had. I'll tell one now. Just when I was very young, this is another thing, I don't know why, but when I was autistic, I had a bunch of Hot Wheels cars, and I loved to put them in a massive traffic jam. It's very special to me, very important. And I'd put it in my room, and it would go whatever way. And whenever a car would go against one of my cupboards, the next car, instead of going behind it, would go to the left of it. So it would be brilliant. And one day, my parents got me a new bed. And to do so with my grandfather, when they had to move it in, they had to get rid of this car traffic jam. So I came home from primary school to see that my treasured, beautiful traffic jam was no longer there. And my parents have always said that I had the worst tantrum I've ever had in my entire life. I think I was 9 years old. And I didn't even notice the new bed. I didn't even notice the new bed, because my treasured traffic jam was gone. I couldn't believe they did this to me. And yeah, I had to rebuild the whole thing. Can you believe it? Absolutely unacceptable. So yeah, and there's another one. We were having some dinner. It was a lovely dinner. And my parents I hate mayonnaise. As an autistic person, there are some foods I will not touch. To this day, I've never eaten tomato. I don't even know if I don't like it, but I will never eat in it. And one of those things is mayonnaise. Never. So I'm eating dinner, having a wonderful time, and my mum gets a spoon. He puts to grab these lumps of potatoes that Dad, who's a very good cook, mixed mayonnaise with something. It was this white sauce. She lifts it on my plate, and I go, what's that? I go, it's some potatoes. I go, I can't eat that. Because it's just some potatoes, Toby. I can't eat that. No. And I say, I'm not eating that. So they go, I think my uncle, my dad's older brother and his wife were around, and they said, no, you have to stand your ground, okay? You have to stand your ground, and you say you can't do that. So they said, Toby, you're going to eat the potatoes, and I just completely lost it. I had another super tantrum. It wasn't the worst one. The worst one was the Hot Wheels car traffic jam one. So when they did, my mum always laughed because as I was screaming in my bed, she came in, opened the door, and goes, "Do you want us to wash the sauce off the potatoes and then you can eat them?" And yeah. So yeah, that was I had early bedtime that day. So yeah, I haven't had a tantrum for quite a long time, I must say.